What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Macho Movie Madness. I'm your host, Brandon. Alongside me always is Chris.
Hello.
Yeah, you better say hello. And today we've got a very special guest with us, Mr. JK Sturgeon. How are you?
Doing pretty good.
Good. And we've been trying to get JK on for quite a while.
Yeah,
it was
probably about 7 years.
7 years. We've been doing the podcast for 6 months. Yeah. Anyway, no, we are very happy to have him on. And we've been saving a very special theme for him.
For you?
Just for him.
Just for me.
Waiting for him to come down and do this thing with us so we can talk all things Batman. Due to our conflicting schedules, it's been pretty tough to get you down here.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, anyway, since we've been saving this, I've been pretty excited about this. I've been waiting to talk about Batman since we started, and no offense to Andrew, he just well, actually we could talk Batman with Andrew, the first Batman.
Yeah, he still doesn't like
he doesn't like
superheroes.
No, he doesn't like superhero stuff.
I mean he ain't right.
Yeah, he ain't right. He just is what he is. Yeah. He's gonna listen to this and be like, you son of a...
I hope he does.
You son of a...
I hope he does.
Yeah, I hope he does too. Just mouth him while he's away.
I just hope he doesn't come find me.
Yeah, he's gonna track you down.
Don't tell him where I live.
Yeah, we're not gonna tell him your potential replacement on the podcast. It's like, we can Skype, man.
Yeah, we can Skype.
We can Skype this. Anyway, so ultimate question: best Batman.
Keaton.
Keaton.
I ain't even gotta wait. Keaton.
That's tough.
Yeah. It is tough.
I mean, because we're not allowed to pick Kevin Conroy, right?
Well,
no, you can.
I mean,
I'll allow it.
I think we can allow it.
I will. He's played Batman for so many years, you can't not.
Because if I could pick, I would pick Kevin Conroy.
Yeah, I think I would pick Kevin Conroy.
Because my favorite Batman movie is probably Mask of the Phantasm.
Wow, really?
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
If I had to pick.
If you had to pick.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I can kind of agree with that. Because that is a solid movie, and that's something that most people haven't even watched.
Right.
I don't think most people nowadays know what that is.
No, it was a. I wouldn't say it was a flop, but it wasn't a success.
No.
Well, I mean, it was big enough to get a theatrical release, but I don't think it did very well in theaters.
It didn't.
It was very limited run.
It's a cult classic.
It's very
It
much
gained more favor after it was released.
Yeah.
On like VHS.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I watched the hell out of it.
Yeah.
But can you guys think of another Batman movie where there was a twist at the end? Like, because I mean, that was one where you didn't know who the Phantasm was until like the last 15 minutes of the movie.
The last 10, 15 minutes.
I mean, you could say Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah.
I mean,
as bad as it was,
that was Talia al Ghul the whole time.
It did have a twist.
It did.
What a twist!
What a twist!
What's yours?
Man, I watched Mask of Phantasm. I'd have to say it's almost a toss up between Batman and Batman Returns.
Yeah,
the Keaton movies.
Yeah.
Just because I think I've actually
I'd
watched
say Batman.
Well, I think Batman was a better film.
Oh, by far.
I don't know if it's by far. I think it's a better film. I just think that I've seen Batman Returns a million times more, I think.
Batman Returns has a lot more fun parts in it.
It's darker.
But
Christmas theme too.
Christmas theme, yes.
But when you hold them up against each other as films, one is much more structured.
Sure.
Much more structured than two is.
Well, yeah, I think the appeal of the first Batman, though, too, being the first Batman they had in 20 years.
Yeah, but even if you take Batman completely out of it, like the whole thought, and you just do it as a movie, it's still an amazing movie. Returns would be a good movie at best. Without the thought of Batman and Penguin.
I think they're both pretty ridiculous without Batman.
Well, you know what I mean, though.
I mean, I guess I can see that
because
I think it's I think
Batman would be a good not revenge, like just a good
I think the thing about Batman that even though you had the Joker and the origin of the Joker, it was still more grounded.
Yeah.
in a sense than
yeah.
Batman
yeah,
Returns.
yeah.
Well, there's one thing Tim Burton got right with his movies is that he portrays Bruce Wayne as an outsider.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, I mean, he's just kind of a lonely guy.
He's
You know, I mean, like the opening scene in Batman Returns, he's sitting there by himself, just,
Just-
hanging
just-
out.
yeah,
like,
he
he's
just-
not out on the town partying or anything.
Yeah.
And that's the one thing that I think Nolan kind of lost is he made Bruce Wayne almost too gregarious and popular.
Well, and he did make it to where like he was being forced to do it.
Yeah, that's true.
He did make it to where Bruce Wayne didn't want to.
Yeah.
But he was kind of being forced to do it. You know, I mean, I'd give him that. I'd give him
He
that.
He was.
Nolan did a really good job with his movies.
Yes.
But they're I can't say they're they're not my favorite just because they don't have Michael Keaton in them. Pretty much.
Well,
If Nolan's movies had Michael Keaton in it, then I'd feel a lot better about the Nolan verse.
We were too young to know this, but when they announced that Michael Keaton was going to be Batman, there was a huge uproar.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there
because he
was.
was Mr. Mom.
Yeah.
And
right.
people didn't want that.
Well, he was too comedic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
he was too little too.
Well, the
Yeah.
same thing happened for Ledger too.
Yeah.
Nobody wanted him as the Joker. Everybody's like, "What?"
They've had some really weird picks in the past.
Everybody
all
was
these
pissed.
movies.
Everybody was mad about Affleck being Batman.
I was pretty mad about
Man,
Affleck.
I said he was going to knock it out of the park.
Well,
and he
you
did.
You did.
He did.
I
mean,
was-
a lot of people would argue, "Oh,
I think the first.
BVS sucked
I think the first
because
time.
I don't watch movies."
I think the first time I heard Affleck, I was upset, and I was like, cannot be. This is ridiculous. I mean, I mean, this is insane. The dude can't act.
Yeah.
And he can't.
You don't have to.
Well, no, but I just don't think he doesn't have a presence.
You
He doesn't look like
be,
he's alive.
to be Bruce Wayne, and I know like this probably is an unpopular opinion, but to be Bruce Wayne and Batman, all you have to do is be pretty emotionless.
I mean,
And you could pull it off. You could pull it off if you're emotionless.
that's kind of Ben
That's
Affleck, I guess.
That's Ben
I
Affleck,
guess
baby.
so. Yeah,
He got one face. He got one face.
he's got one face, and
It's
it looks
not-
like a woman beater.
exactly.
I mean,
He's
it
not,
really does.
He's not Zoolander. He ain't got Blue Steel and Blue Steel 2.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
But he's got that sweet back tattoo.
yeah,
Yeah,
You
yeah.
guys seen that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the
Oh my
dragon
God.
tattoo.
Gosh.
I can't. I've got a back tattoo, so I can't say nothing.
Not like this.
No, not a dragon, not a dragon.
I think. I mean, obviously Michael Keaton. Everybody was wrong about Michael Keaton.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he did a good job in both roles, the Bruce Wayne and
I think
Batman role.
I think he was a better Bruce Wayne than Batman.
Really?
Yeah, I think, and I already said at the beginning that Michael Keaton's my favorite Batman, but I would say, if anything, Michael Keaton was the absolute best Bruce Wayne there ever has been, and probably ever will be.
Yeah.
Even above Conroy.
I don't know. I don't know about above Conroy, but I think he's second.
Well, I mean, when you
Conroy-
watch
It's too hard for me to argue.
when
'cause I
you
like
watch
Keaton so
when you
much.
watch
No.
all of the animated series and the animated movies that Kevin's done, he doesn't really change his voice between Batman and Bruce Wayne. I mean, he does a little bit.
It's a little bit.
He does a little bit, but not much.
Mhm.
Keaton,
sounds like a normal guy, and then gets
Exactly.
gets the kind of the grunt on.
yeah, he gets a deeper he gets a deeper voice without it being Bale.
Yeah. Well, I think
You know,
I think he's done it the best, other than Conroy.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
the films.
Yeah.
Just in the live action films.
Yeah.
Because it is so subtle.
Oh yeah,
And it seems like what a normal person would do.
Yeah, exactly.
And you can feel the character in his voice.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And that's what's important to me. Bale was just like a guy went in there and went growly because he didn't know what else to do, and
Yeah.
like, I gotta seem menacing and mean, so I gotta be growly.
yeah.
It's like that's an actor thing. That's not becoming the part.
Yeah.
Right.
Bale
Well,
seemed
and I like Bale too.
Well,
I
I-
liked
yeah.
him.
I really don't.
I did.
And I think it was more of a job. It felt like more of a job than it did the actual character.
Yeah.
Like I felt Michael Keaton gave more. I
Oh,
feel
yeah,
Ben
probably.
Affleck's getting
Yeah,
a little
but
bit more than.
at
than
the
Bale
same
did.
time, though, I would say Michael Keaton feels that way above most actors in any movie role.
Well, that's what makes him so great.
You know what I mean? Like that's
why
not.
he's so
You
great.
know what he doesn't get enough credit for is that he pulled off Batman without being able to do this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no shit.
exactly.
Yeah,
He
exactly.
couldn't turn his head.
Yeah.
Like he has to emote
Yeah,
everything
crazy,
by looking
silly
like,
shoulder turns.
Yeah, he's got to like move his entire shoulders
Yeah.
with him when he turns his head.
Yeah.
He doesn't get enough credit for that. That had to be tough.
That movie, that first movie, man, I can't remember the very first time I seen it because I was so little,
Yeah.
but I know I've seen it 100 million times. But that was seriously, between that and the cinematography and the soundtrack was just phenomenal.
Yeah.
I don't think you get much
I can-
better than that.
I can actually, I think I can tell you the exact time that I watched the very first Batman movie.
Really?
It was 1992. The day that my mom and dad found out that they were going to have my little brother, they went and got me Batman.
Really?
On VHS, and that was the first time I seen it.
Really?
Yeah.
My first Batman was actually Batman Forever.
Really?
parents
Oh
took me
man,
to
I feel
see it.
so bad for you.
Yeah, my parents took me to see it. No, they went to the Ritz 4 in Lebanon.
Really?
I'll never forget that, yeah. And then
I remember getting Batman Forever.
it was kind of cool because then to bring it full circle, like they took me to see Batman Forever when that came out when I was little. And then I took them to see The Dark Knight Rises. You know,
Man, I
like,
feel bad
Did
for
you-
them now
Yeah.
too.
Do you remember? I don't think I didn't go to the theater and watch any of them, and I don't remember. My mom could probably remember.
I watched all of the Nolan verse in theater.
Really?
Yeah.
I did too.
I did too.
I just because I was old enough to go,
Yeah.
and I'm not so sure I didn't watch Returns. No, I probably didn't watch Returns before I watched the first Batman. I don't remember. I think I watched Batman first and then Returns.
I'm
but-
not sure.
I'm pretty sure, but I remember the first time I watched Batman Forever. I'm pretty sure because I didn't go to theaters. Do you remember Jeff and Wanda Gibson and Caitlin Gibson?
Yes, I do.
Like we were really little when they left, but
Yes.
I was at their house. I went to their house a lot,
Mhm.
and it's where Randy Harris and them live now. Anyway, I should probably bleep that out. I don't know. Whatever. No one knows. Just name dropping and address given out. Anyway, I figured he's on the same wavelength as me. So anyway, I'm pretty sure I was there when because they knew how big of a Batman fan I was when I was a kid, and they ended up getting it for me.
Really?
She went and got it and brought it home that night after school or something because I was there because they used to babysit me a lot. I think for a little while, and we were all friends with Caitlin and all of them.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
I remember you had the Batman Forever folder, like
Yeah.
to put our papers in at
Uh-huh.
school.
Oh, yeah.
And you could draw the
Gay.
Riddler logo.
Yeah, I had the old McDonald's glass cups. You remember those?
Yeah.
The glass cups.
I think I still have them over at my mom and dad's.
My mom might have one or two
Yeah.
of them.
I don't
Because
think
we
I
had
still
the-
have mine.
Because we had one or two of the Batman Forever ones, and then we had one of the Flintstone ones, the
Oh,
Flintstone movie ones.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Remember that? I think they were all McDonald's cups.
I'm trying
Yeah.
to forget it.
Trying to
Flintstones movie.
Oh come on, that was okay. The second one was terrible,
Yeah.
but the
Oh
first
my god, they made a second one. I didn't
Oh, it was
watch it.
bad.
I didn't
That
watch
was
the second
Viva
one.
Rock Vegas.
Oh
was so
no,
bad.
It's so bad.
It was
no,
so bad.
I gotta find that.
Oh, yeah,
I'm gonna
it's-
I'm
I have
gonna
it.
YouTube that.
I have it.
You got it?
I got it.
Oh, I'm gonna watch
It's
it.
terrible.
Oh,
But
it's
it didn't
terrible.
have John
I can't
Goodman
wait.
and
No,
Rick
it was-
Moranis. They recasted everybody.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's terrible. That's
Yeah.
worse.
Yeah, no, it was one of them was a Baldwin.
Ooh.
Barney was played by Stephen Baldwin or
Oh
somebody.
my god.
It's
no.
so bad. It's so bad.
no.
Yes.
Yeah, I gotta see it now.
It's so bad.
I gotta see it now.
It's so bad. But
I remember the exact night that I watched Batman Returns.
I don't remember the exact night I first watched it, but I have this weird memory where I have of sitting in my living room watching it in the dark. Around
Yeah.
Christmas
If I
time.
look for police reports, I can tell you the exact day or the exact night that I watched Batman Returns. Because
Did you get arrested?
when he's a kid,
we were on our way home from getting the movie, and we hit a cow.
No kidding.
Yeah. So,
Like head on?
well, I mean, yeah, my dad hit it in the car.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
wow,
Smoked it.
Smoke.
And I just remember being I was terrified that tape was broke. Because we had a bunch of groceries and the tape.
Yeah.
And it all went into the floor, and the tape was underneath everything, and I was just like,
just destroyed.
oh man. I
Not
was
worried
so
about the
pissed.
cow. Not worried about the vehicle.
Oh no, the
Yeah.
cow was dead.
Yeah.
It was gone.
Yeah. But where's my movie?
Where's my movie?
Yeah.
Where is Batman?
Yeah, it's gone. It's gone. I'm sorry, Chris. It didn't.
No,
make
I
it.
think I had I actually had Batman comics before I even seen a movie.
Really?
Yeah, because my grandma used to go buy me comic books at yard sales.
Oh, okay.
And so I was reading Batman books when I was really little.
Some
that I probably shouldn't have had.
I probably watched Batman Returns way too little.
Oh, probably.
Oh, yeah.
It's creepy.
It's dark.
It's creepy.
It's
Yeah.
dark.
I remember getting super freaked out when the clown kidnaps the baby and
Yeah.
takes him
Yes.
down into the sewer.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
that messed with me.
Yeah.
And, like, I remember I turned it off, fast-forwarded, and turned it back on once I saw the baby was okay. I was like, all right, we're good.
Yeah.
Well, the penguin was super creepy.
Oh, yeah, and he was eating the raw fish and stuff.
yeah,
was disgusting.
and he was
Yeah.
like that blood, that
Dude, there was
black.
Speaking
ooze
of,
coming out.
I know we were talking about the first one earlier, but anyway, on when you go to Returns, casting wise, Returns was better than any other Batman movie. And that's saying a lot because I love Nicholson as the Joker. I think he's the best. I think he's the best villain that they have.
Yeah.
But we got Christopher Walken.
Yeah.
But there will never, ever, ever in the history of actors be another actor that can pull the Penguin off.
I don't think we'll get another Penguin as good as Danny DeVito.
No,
I don't
it'll
think
never
so.
happen.
I don't either.
It'll
Like,
never
I'm
happen.
sitting here like trying to think of somebody.
Even if somebody could pull it off acting wise, they still couldn't pull it off looks wise. Like, it's not going to happen.
No.
You will never find another actor that looks like the Penguin.
No.
No.
They're going to end up.
The guy from Gotham's doing a good job.
But he's too tall.
But
he's
he's
way too tall and lanky. Yeah, he's just not the penguin. I mean,
He's
you have
skinny.
to be
Yeah,
short
he's
and
skinny.
fat. He's short and
Yeah.
fat. Oswald Cobblepot is short and fat.
And bald.
And bald.
Yeah.
Well,
And
that
ugly.
that can happen. Well, this guy's not, the greatest looking, but I mean, you could do anything with your looks, your hair, and your prosthetics, and your makeup, stuff like that.
Yeah, but DeVito looks like him now.
But DeVito is always going to look like that because he's short and fat.
Yeah.
That's just the way it is.
And he talks like him.
Or they're gonna. Can you imagine though? Like they're gonna, if they do a modern day, I don't know, they're gonna have to do something because it's gonna be weird.
They'll probably
The CGI.
they'll probably do it all weird.
I think they will. I think they're going to do something
They
weird.
will. They'll do something weird.
Or they might not do it
Just
again.
like Leto's Joker
Yeah.
with all the tattoos and.
Did you like that?
Not really.
I
I didn't hate it, but
Yeah.
I wasn't like...
I was really up and down on it.
Yeah, I think that's where I'm at too, like extremely ambivalent.
I gave him a chance.
Yeah. Well, when
I actually the tattoos that don't bother me. The grill didn't bother me. None of that bothered me. I accepted all of that because it was 2016 when it came out.
Mm-hmm.
So you gotta change with the times. You have to. But I hate the laugh.
The cackle's not the greatest.
Yeah.
No.
I hate it.
There's a few scenes in the movie I'm like, that's not Joker.
No.
And then there's other scenes in the movie that I thought was Joker. I'm like, okay, he's because he really lost me and then picked me back, sold me again.
Yeah.
Well, when they recreated the Alex Ross cover of like him and Harley dancing, where she had like the red and black
that was cool.
jumpsuit.
I like that.
That was pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Him firing the AK out of the helicopter was awesome and laughing. I thought that was very Jokerish.
Yeah.
He's really a play on the newer Joker now.
Yeah.
Like, a newer looking Joker.
Yeah, but still,
But I still don't think it's great.
I think the newer Joker, like the newer Rebirth Joker, is a play off of him.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah. I think I still think that the gangster, the old 40s, 30s, 40s gangster Joker look is the best, and that's why I think Hamill's version, the animated series version, is probably my favorite. And then Nicholson next because he's the live action version of that.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
What did you guys think of The Killing Joke, the animated movie?
I really liked it.
I liked it.
I did
I know
too.
it got a lot of crap for the thing with
Batgirl.
Batgirl,
But that's what's in the book.
it got crap for Batman and Batgirl.
Oh yeah, that's right. Them
Getting
hooking
it
up.
on.
Yeah, them hooking it up.
But they had, I don't know, they had to add something to it.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
that
right.
story's only 45 minutes at
Yeah,
best. So they
at
had to
least.
add on and try to make her.
Well, and they made her more adult.
Mm-hmm.
Try to get you to be more invested in the
Yeah,
character.
exactly.
I'm okay with that. She's been around for so long. You can't.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like
Well, and there's been stories where her and Batman have hooked up. So
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I can't think of what they are off the top of my head, but I know there are.
I think
some.
everybody's just used to her having a relationship with one of the Robins or something.
Nightwing.
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 Yeah. Well, it was Tim in the Arkham games too.
Oh
It
yeah,
was different in
wasn't
the
it?
Arkham games. It was Tim.
Yeah,
Really?
And she was married. Yeah, by the end of it.
yeah. And they're all different too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's just a hoe.
yeah,
That's what it is.
Yeah, she is.
She's a hoe.
Well,
She's
Nightwing is a hoe.
he
He is a hoe.
Starfire.
Yeah, he gets around.
Yeah, he gets around too.
Now, is that in the comics too? Because I don't
With
read
him being
Teen
with
Titans.
Starfire?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he was with Starfire in like Judas Contract. I
Oh,
wanna say
okay.
They were together
in the animated.
and in the comics, I think too.
Oh, really?
There for a while when he was on Teen Titans, I think he was with Starfire.
Okay. See, I don't keep
Yeah.
up with Teen Titans
No,
Judas Contract's the only Teen Titans story that
that you've read.
that I've read. Yeah.
I didn't even read it.
now I think this is going to be funny. I know how much Chris does not like Batman Forever, and I think it's funny because
I'm scowling.
I've actually got somebody sitting across me right now who can make a case for the movie just like I can. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm one of those people.
I'm one of those-
a Batman Forever apologist.
I
like
Schumacher can apologize, but I'm not going to apologize for Batman.
No.
Forever.
Well, here's the thing. Rose-colored glasses only get you so far. with movies. It does. I've got several like that. I've got several movies that if I really sat down and really discussed it with myself, I would admit that they're junk.
Yeah.
But I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
I would rather just say, well, it could be good. It could be.
Well, I mean, I'm not
It can be
I'm not
good.
going to make a case that this movie's excellent. I'm just going to make the case that it's
it's
better.
junk.
I'm not. I can't make the case that it's junk. I can't even say that it's junk. I can make a case where it's not junk. It's just not. I'm not going to defend it to the point of it's way better than everybody.
Oh yeah, no.
You know,
No, because it's not.
But it's not junk. I actually do think
It's watchable.
it's
I'll
very
give you,
watchable.
I'll give you
it's
that.
very
It's
watchable. I think
watchable.
and I think it's a very fun movie most of the time.
Nah.
I think
do.
it has my favorite Batmobile.
It's
Really?
I think the Batman Forever is my favorite Batmobile.
I could get behind that because that is a good Batman.
Because I like the blue
it
lights.
is. Yeah.
yeah,
that was
it's
cool.
cool.
It is.
Well, I like that the tires spin, but the wheel there's like a wheel covers
Yeah.
that don't.
The hubs.
The
stays
hubs,
same.
yeah, I think that's pretty awesome.
But it's that even that is cheesy.
Well, it's cheesy.
That's
yeah.
cheesy as hell.
Well, it's cheesy, but
That's
I
like
mean,
spinners.
it is kind of like spinners,
Yeah.
but the opposite effect. I mean, I don't know. I think I don't know. Like it still has a very comic book feel to it.
Yeah.
I mean,
it had a '90s comic book feel
Well,
to it
it-
because
yeah.
the '90s comic books are cheesy as hell.
well, most '90s things are cheesy, right?
Yeah,
but
they
that's
are.
what's so great about them.
Wolf.
Well, you need to
Wolf.
You need to stop living in the future and
There's-
get with the past.
There's one Batman movie I think we've all been dancing around. Are we gonna even?
Oh yeah, I'll talk about it. And there's some redeeming qualities to it, but it's not good.
There is.
Oh yeah, Arnold's one-liners.
Well, yeah, the funny stuff, the stuff that's
Exactly.
not even meant to be funny.
Oh, it's meant to be fun.
Oh.
You can't tell me.
No.
You
I've
can't tell
watched
me.
enough Schumacher films to know when he's trying to be funny and when he's not.
I still can't
Schumacher
believe-
should be hung from a oak tree.
I still can't
for
believe
what
the guy
he's
that
done.
did those movies also did The Client and A Time to Kill.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah.
I still can't
I can.
reconcile that in my
I
mind.
can.
And Family Opera.
I can because for every good movie he's done, he's got 5 that are bad.
Well,
It's like he has he's got this.
I honestly think his worst is just Batman and Robin.
Oh yeah, I would
Yeah, I
agree.
think
I would
so.
agree.
It's just
I would
that-
agree. But he does have quite a few that were
Oh, yeah.
really bad.
Well,
But
it's
he-
Schumacher. I mean,
He's got a couple. Like he has 2 that are absolute classic films that should be studied in colleges. And then all the rest of his movies should be studied in college of what not to do.
Yeah.
Because they're garbage. I hate Schumacher. And
I know you do.
And he has and I, like
Getting
I,
that sense.
like I said, he's got 2 films that I think are top 25 films of all time.
Is A Time to Kill one of them?
Yep.
What's the other one?
Oh, I don't want to say.
No.
We'll talk about it later.
Talking about-
I don't want to say it I don't want to say record.
on live TV.
Yeah.
You telling me there's not one redeemable thing about Batman and Robin?
No.
Is that what you're telling me?
No, other than it being so bad that it's funny.
I think the Schwarzenegger one-liners are the best thing about it.
I
Well,
get
yeah,
behind that.
For sure.
yeah, I could say that.
The Bat credit card. That's not.
Oh my god,
That's
Oh,
terrible.
man.
That's awful.
Oh,
That is bad.
everything about.
The fighting was bad. The butt shots. The constant,
Completely unnecessary.
Constant
unnecessary
butt
butt. And you know what? Alicia Silverstone was somewhat decent of an actor. I can't say she's the best, but she was better than that. And her lines and her delivery was just awful.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
And Uma Thurman. Okay, by the way, Uma Thurman probably looked the best in this movie. This is one of the
Yeah.
sexiest
of her whole
Yeah,
life.
this is one of the sexiest movies of her
that
career.
ain't saying much, but
I know, but it is. And
some people
she was
it is,
awful
though.
in it. Awful in it. Mostly.
mostly
Over the top.
Oh.
It was just too over the top. I think Batman Forever had a good balance. Maybe it was a little bit more cartoony than not, but it had more of a balance than this one did. This one was
Oh,
just
yeah.
straight ridiculous.
Yeah.
And then you had Batman and Batman Returns. that
There
were
is-
far more.
There's a
grounded.
part which you probably know, but some people probably may not. But there's a part where they're all standing out front of the mansion, and what were they talking about? I don't remember what they're talking about, but they're all standing there talking.
It's when they're
in front of
bringing
the
Barbara
mansion.
in, and
There's like a good 25 seconds. No one says anything.
Yeah.
The camera just looks around at all of them.
yeah,
and
they're all,
like,
it's just that awkward like.
oh, dude.
It was when they were trying
super
to.
sloppy filmmaking. Like,
Yeah.
super sloppy.
It was when Barbara was moving in, and Alfred and her were smiling about it, and the other two were like, okay.
Wow.
It's a weird moment. Have you watched it in a while?
No, I haven't. I haven't seen it in a long time.
Yeah, I have to go back and watch it. It's bad.
But I do know that something from that movie is now carried over to the comics.
What's that?
McGregor syndrome.
Really?
Yeah,
I didn't know that. I don't guess I
They-
paid attention.
that's gonna come into play with White Knight.
Oh, yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Because Sean Murphy, he seems like he's trying to bring stuff from those older
He is.
Batman movies,
Well, you could
but
tell-
he's picking the good stuff
Yeah.
out.
Right.
And that actually kind of made sense. Like, they actually gave Nora Freeze's condition like a name
Yeah.
and like what he's actually working towards. And then the fact that Alfred also suffers from that.
Right.
I thought that was kind of a unique
Well, that's
tie-in.
one thing I liked about. Actually, that's another thing that now that you mention it, that I did like about Batman and Robin. And at the end, where Mr. Freeze gave him that, it wasn't silly, yeah, but it did show the human side of Dr. Freeze.
Yeah.
It really did. And I thought by the end of it, it displayed that really well.
You want to know why I think why Batman Forever and Batman and Robin don't work, or why people like really just don't like them, is because if you have a good Batman story and you need a Batman villain that is the other side of the coin of Batman.
Mm-hmm.
So like all good Batman villains are dark reflections of himself.
Yeah.
Right.
And you can't see Bruce Wayne or Batman in Tommy Lee Jones's Two-Face or
No.
Jim Carrey's Riddler
Nope.
or in
The
Arnold's
characters
Freeze.
you should be able to.
Right.
But yeah, I see what you're saying. Like Tommy Lee Jones's portrayal of it was
Right.
not that.
No, yeah.
But
And,
that's
yeah.
I think that's why Batman Returns works, is because Selena Kyle is an outsider like him.
Yeah.
And I was texting you about this yesterday.
Yeah.
The scene of the costume party. Everyone is wearing a mask at the costume party, but Bruce and Selena.
Yeah.
And it's because
Because
those
they're
are
already
their
in
masks.
costume.
That's
Yeah.
what their costume is,
Yeah.
because their true selves are Batman and Catwoman.
Exactly.
Yep.
And that's genius.
I-
That-
I
Well,
do-
and
I
that's
think good
actually
filmmaking.
that's
very
actually
good film.
from. I don't think it's a Batman comic. I think it's a Detective Comics.
Oh yeah.
That actually happens. Like a
Really?
old. Yeah, it's from.
it's
from 80 something.
I know what you're talking about. Was it Detective Comics?
I think so.
Was it the Bruce Wayne is the mask I wear? Is that the quote? Is that same
familiar.
one?
Maybe.
Bruce
That's
Wayne.
ringing a bell.
Maybe.
Bruce. He said Bruce Wayne is just the mask I wear. Batman is who I am.
Yeah.
To everyone else, I'm Bruce Wayne, and that's just the mask I wear.
Yeah.
I am Batman.
Yeah.
I'm Bruce Wayne. Yeah, that's awesome. I think that's great. And I've actually got that. I mean, I've got that quote somewhere. I don't know where I put it, but
Yeah.
but that's one of my favorite quotes from
Yeah, I
Batman
like it.
because
I
it's
like it.
so deep. Like that is him.
Yeah.
Everyone is too worried about the Bruce Wayne character.
Yeah.
Like Bruce Wayne is nothing. Bruce Wayne is just something he's trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
Batman's who he is now.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, and I think that's another reason why I had such a problem with the Nolan movies. And I know that I think there's a time in Batman's life, in his career or whatever, that he second guesses himself. I mean, it happened in the animated series too. He didn't want to do it forever. Mask the Phantasm showed that quite a bit.
Yes.
He didn't want to do it forever. When he fell in love with Andrea, he's like, I don't have to do this anymore.
He was ready to give it up.
He was ready to give it up for love, and that's great. But and he even realized by the end that that's just not possible. That's just not who he is. But I think that's something that they focused on too heavily all the way to the end of the trilogy with Nolanverse.
That he wanted to quit.
That he was just a bitch that wanted to quit the whole time. He was always a wine bag the whole time.
Well, and
it got worse after Rachel died. It was a wine bag the whole time.
Well, and they had Michael Caine's Alfred really leaning in heavily to that too, saying like, I hope to one day be on vacation and look up and see you.
Yeah.
You know, and that I will just raise a glass to you and we'll pretend like we don't know each other. Like, I didn't get that at all.
It was weird. That was just weird.
That just didn't hit
Like,
home.
why would you do that? Why would you just not go on vacation together and be out of the business?
Yeah.
The Nolanverse is not, which I know a lot of people would probably be pissed off about that, but
I hope they are.
The Nolanverse is not a great Batman trilogy.
No, it's not.
But it is probably one of the best action trilogies of the thousands.
Well, it is. When you say trilogy though, that limits a lot of things.
Well,
I mean, you have the Matrix that you can count, even though that was kind of 99 into 2003. Yeah. I mean, but there's not very many trilogies.
No, but still, I mean, movies, just action movies.
Action movies with action sequels.
The Nolanverse, the first two movies are pretty friggin' awesome.
Okay, Batman Begins.
Pretty freaking awesome, man.
I like them. I really do.
I
just don't think they're as infallible as everybody makes them.
Oh, right.
Because everybody has put The Dark Knight on like a pedestal of like, this is the pinnacle of Batman filmmaking,
and
it's actually not.
No, but it is pretty good.
But it's a great movie.
It's a great film.
Yes.
It's a pretty good Batman movie.
I don't even say it's pretty good.
Oh, I would.
No,
I would. Compared to what we have had.
Well, compared to Batman and Robin.
But
it doesn't. I don't think it even touches Batman.
Whoa, no,
or Batman Returns.
No, I would say the same. But anything after Keaton, it's better than those two.
Yeah, luckily there's not too many choices.
I know. Luckily they quit doing them for a while.
Yeah, same thing happened
because
to
it kept getting worse.
Yeah, same thing happened to all of them. Just because.
I agree. Superman the same way.
And there's a Justice League movie we never got in between Batman and Robin and Batman Begins.
I know.
And that's a movie I would have liked to have seen because they had Armie Hammer was going to be Batman.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yes.
See, that would have been good.
And then I can't remember. It was like DJ Katrana or something like that was going to be Superman. Gosh, I'm trying to remember his name. Jay Baruchel was he going to be Booster Gold maybe? Or
I don't know.
Or something, but it was
we need Booster Gold in a live action film.
Yes, I agree.
Do. And Nathan Fillion needs to play him.
That would be awesome. That would be awesome.
Yeah, I would have him, and then you could have Alan Tudyk be Adam Strange.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Be a good pair up.
I like Alan Tudyk.
But I'm blanking on his name. The guy that did the Mad Max movies was doing the Justice League movie, and they got all the way down to Australia.
The new one, the new Mad Max.
The
old ones.
Well. All of them. I think they've all been done by the same guy.
Yeah.
I wanted to say Frank Miller, but that's not the right name.
He's got a
George Miller.
George Miller. Yeah.
Okay. He was, and they got all the way down to Australia. They were getting ready to film that Justice League movie. The writer's strike happened.
Oh, okay.
And that's how that goes under.
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
And that may be for the best too, though.
Yeah, because who knows how that would have turned out. Like I've seen the suits, and the suits were kind of
yeah.
But, they probably get corrected.
Did you ever see those test suits for Nicolas Cage as Superman?
Oh, have you guys watched that documentary?
Yeah.
No, I don't think I've watched all of
There's a documentary called The Death of Superman Lives, What Happened.
Yeah.
Fantastic documentary.
Yeah.
And we almost got a Nicolas Cage Superman movie.
Yeah.
Boy, that would have been wild.
Do you know that he owns a copy of Action Comics #1?
Does he really?
Yes. Well, because he's bankrupt. That's like why he makes a bunch of movies now.
Yeah.
But he bought like an island and like a dinosaur skull.
Well, he got
Action Comics #1.
He got in trouble for the dinosaur skull.
Yeah, he did.
Did he really?
Yeah, because he brought it in illegally.
Oh, okay.
Like you can't just buy crap like that overseas.
He's always done that though. Like
he
was trying to marry Lisa Marie just so he can have like the keys to the kingdom. I mean, come on.
What a freak.
I know.
What a freak.
I hope he makes National Treasure 3 though. I want it. I want
Yeah,
it.
I do.
I
Yeah,
want
I
it
do
bad.
too.
I want
If
it
my
bad.
wife is listening, she'll tell you that we've been waiting for that since the second one.
I know.
I don't think I don't think they will though.
Because they left it wide open,
Yeah.
like what was on that other page of the book,
Yeah,
Yeah, they did.
and,
I don't
and
think
we
so.
still
I
have
don't
no idea
think
what
they
it
will.
was.
I don't think they will.
They may
I don't
not,
think they
but-
will.
Man, I still remember the night we went and watched that.
I do too.
I still remember that. And I every time I
want
think
to
of
do
National
Ghost
Treasure, I
Rider
think-
3.
Yeah.
Shut up. you hush your mouth over there. No, I think Batman Begins was a great Batman movie.
Yeah.
A great Batman movie.
Yeah.
And it was a pretty good action movie, you know.
Did you guys like Liam Neeson as
Eh,
Ra's al Ghul?
I thought he was just fine in it.
Yeah.
And this was
He was aight.
this was pre Liam Neeson going
Yeah,
silly.
yeah.
Getting silly
It's
with his,
it's pre Chris hates Liam Neeson.
Yeah, it's when I liked Liam Neeson.
Yeah. He kept his mouth shut about politics.
Yeah. Yeah, back
When-
in the
when
day
he
when he was
was-
still just acting.
Yeah, when he was an actor, now he's an activist.
They're all activists now.
Yeah.
But I think The Dark Knight, I agree with you. I think it's a very good action film, and it's one of the best we've had in the last
Yeah.
probably 10 or 15 years.
Yeah.
hmm
But I don't think it's it's better than the Schumacher films, obviously, but I don't think it's a great Batman film.
I think it's a good. I think it's a good Batman movie.
I think it's an okay Batman. I think what it is just a good action film that these characters were thrown in and it somehow worked.
Yeah.
Because it was so grounded and so real
Yeah.
that you could have literally threw any characters in there and it would have worked fine.
Yeah.
So
Well,
that's not
and
Batman.
that's it. That is some people like. There's such a plethora of universes that Batman has been written into
Mhm.
that you could do any style of Batman. It could work.
Well, sure. Yeah, I mean, I can understand.
You can do the animated series Batman, and it works perfect. You can do the Nolan verse, which is like a Earth One
Mhm.
type, realistic.
Ooh.
But you know what? Every other like multiverse has wild stuff with Batman, and this one is the most grounded and bland I've
Yeah.
ever seen.
Yeah.
Well, that is Earth One Batman would be just like the
Yes.
Nolan verse.
Yeah.
It's like there's no. I mean, there is crazy stuff around a little bit, but for the most part, it's grounded.
Well, I had a big problem with Dark Knight a little bit though, because it just seemed like he was way too far in the pockets of everybody, and that was not the Joker to me. To me, that's like that Joker doesn't plan that well.
Yeah.
Joker isn't that smart. He's smart, but he's
more
not.
live in the moment.
He's definitely like him burning the pile of money was Joker.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes
But
sense.
him setting up everything else and having everybody in his pocket and like bullshit. I'm not. That's not Joker.
So I have an important question for you guys. Like you mentioned Earth One, so this made me think of this. So you guys are both big comics guys.
Yes.
What storyline or what comic would you like to see made
Into a
the
movie?
next movie? Because Matt Reeves is getting ready to do a Batman movie.
Yes.
If you could pick one story
Oh,
from comics,
I don't think they could make. I don't think they could make this work with the current with Affleck. I really don't think they could. I want to see I Am Suicide.
Oh yeah,
That'd
I
be
Am
good.
Suicide.
Tom King's
The new Tom King one.
Yeah.
Okay, Death in the Family.
Ooh, yeah.
Death in or
Oh,
Death of?
I'm
Death
sorry.
of
So
the
Death
Family.
with the Joker that's cut his face off
yeah,
and
that
reattached
would be
it.
awesome.
Death of the Family. Even Death in
Boy,
the Family
it-
would be good though.
Boy, it'd have to be like rated R though.
Oh yeah,
Death
Oh,
of
yeah.
the Family.
Well, they're talking.
It would.
Weren't they talking
Yeah.
about Matt Reeves Batman being R?
Yes.
I was to say.
Oh
Yeah,
boy,
it's going to be a hard R movie.
Hear me out. Even Death in the Family would be great because
Are you jacking with me?
No.
Death in the Family would be good though because they already showed Robin suit
I
in
was going to
Batman
say
v
that.
Superman.
You've already got that.
Yeah.
built in.
Well, that's probably what it'll be.
Hush would be amazing.
Oh,
Hush
Hush
would be
Hush
amazing.
would be amazing.
You guys already know what my answer would probably be because I talk about it all the time. Court of Owls.
The Court of Owls, yeah. No, the Court of Owls would work really well.
Man, I don't know if they could pull it off.
It
And
would
make
be
it
hard to
good.
do it in a movie. That actually
It
might be
would-
better for a series.
It'd be it would.
But Death of the Family would be
Well,
right
because
there
it'd be
for
too
me.
long, probably. Yeah, I think so too.
Well, if they could do Death of the Family, like if they could do a Court of Owls and then Death of the Family,
Yeah.
just anything Scott Snyder's
you know,
wrote.
what,
Yes.
you know I'd love to see. I don't know how they would do it. Maybe they can do it in one movie. Maybe they can do it two. I think they could probably do it in one. Maybe a longer one. But I would love to see Long Halloween.
Really?
Well, and the reason why is
that would be good.
well, the reason why is Calendar Man is not my favorite, but he is something different.
Yeah, he is.
and
It's
it-
unique.
and
Oh, dude.
the actual real turn, like the full length turn of Harvey Dent into Two-Face
hmm
would be incredible.
Man,
because Aaron Eckhart was great, but this would be drawn out. You would see you would see a stern district attorney. You would see his slip.
It's a slow burn.
It's a slow burn, and you would see that, and until he finally snaps. And I think The Long Halloween's one of the best books ever too. So I think that would be an incredible story into a movie.
Black Mirror would be good too.
That's what I was just thinking. Black Mirror would be really good, but they'd have to introduce Nightwing.
Right.
But that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, I think they should do that first.
People would be confused if Batman wasn't Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
And that story has
they'd
Dick
be
Grayson.
People would be pissed.
I think they need to do something that's not Joker, though. And as much
agree.
as I love Joker, if they're going to do a Joker, get it right.
Yeah.
But they can't get their shit around Jared Leto right now.
And they can't.
They probably will include him somehow because Harley's
Warner
gonna be
Brothers
popular.
needs to butt out, is what they need.
Well,
to
they
do.
really do. That's the biggest problem with everything. But that's the same thing that's wrong with the comic book industry. There's too much micromanagement right now.
Yeah.
Well,
Mainly
and DC is pretty good comics wise,
Mostly.
of keeping their nose
Not as
out
bad
of
as
the
Marvel.
writers.
Not as bad as Marvel.
I think we can all agree that DC is outdoing Marvel right now.
Oh,
Oh,
100%.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
On the comic side.
Like
for sure.
insanely.
By far.
That's what people don't realize. They can. I mean, but you see all the crap that DC gets in the comment sections are always on Facebook.
Yeah.
And it's just a fun thing to do now to love Marvel and hate DC.
But DC's finding their niche with the animated movies.
Oh my!
They
God.
are.
By doing Killing Joke, and we're getting Death of Superman later this year.
Batman, Gotham by Gaslight was just released, and that
I
was
still haven't seen that
Ninja
yet.
Batman.
Ninja.
Oh, that's
Batman
so
Ninja
good.
was going to be good. That's going to be wild. That's a little bit different.
I got Gotham by Gaslight over here. It was pretty freaking good.
I need to read it.
It was. No, I mean watching it.
Oh, watching.
Yeah, I got
Yeah,
the
the
movie
movie.
too.
Yeah.
They're both good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're both
It's
good.
kind of like if you don't want the movie ruined for you, you might not want to read the book,
Okay.
or vice versa. Because
Yeah.
once you know, you know.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But it is really good. I like the whole Jack the Ripper thing. I don't like it. I don't like that whole setting near as much as I like the Ninja Batman setting. I can't wait for that.
Yeah. I
No,
think it's
that's going to
sweet.
be interesting. That's going to
Dude,
be
I
interesting.
love.
Just because it's so far outside.
Yeah, I love.
So do you
ninjas
think-
and samurais and shit?
Going forward with the movies, do you think that they're going to change everything going forward since we've had such a backlash?
Probably.
I think we're probably going to see them stop trying to connect everything.
Yep.
Yeah.
I
I think
so.
we're going to start seeing more standalone movies, and that's not an original idea. Like I've heard other people say that too, and I have to tend to agree with that.
Yep.
But I would like to see them start doing the series
Yeah.
because to do a good Batman story, like a good Batman story, is a good detective story,
Yeah.
and it's hard to do that in 2 hours or 2.5
Yeah,
hours.
It is.
Yeah.
Do it as an 8-episode miniseries,
I
and
think
that
so,
way,
too.
season 1 you can do Court of Owls, then you can do Death of the Family, then you can do
If they can
all
get,
that
if
other
they can
stuff.
do like, I don't know who would take it. I don't know if Netflix or somebody would take it. But if they could do something that's really high production, they can get a good actor in there to do that.
And Netflix is going to need something
'Cause you're
like
gonna-
that because
They are.
Disney's got their own streaming service coming
Well,
up.
you know who needs it even more than Netflix? HBO.
Yeah.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
once HBO loses Game of Thrones,
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
they've
done.
got Westworld, and
Yeah.
that's it.
And that's only lasting 2 seasons, isn't it? It's 2 or 3. It's not going very
I
long.
I think it's only 2 or 3.
It's
yeah.
not going very long.
But then, doesn't Warner Brothers own HBO? Because they're doing a
Ooh.
Watchmen series.
Are they really?
Yes.
Well, that
We're
might
going to
be
get a
pretty
Watchmen series, but they said it's not going to be like the Snyder Watchmen movie.
I think-
Really?
I think
See, that's
we're.
what- I love the Snyder
I do
Watchmen
too.
movie.
I think we'd be better off having series of anything. I mean,
Mhm.
they've been far more successful. Arrow and Flash and all of them have been far more
Dude.
successful
Yeah.
in the shows
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah.
I just don't know.
And I'm not like
I mean, the Netflix.
I
Marvel
was
movies
I
are-
was really
shows are
big
great.
on the TV shows, and then like the last couple seasons, I've thought they've really just slid off.
Oh, they have.
They've slacked off.
Yeah.
But that's you know what it is though. I mean, I think this is partially the problem. They haven't introduced Batman. Like you could do so much more if you start introducing more characters,
Well-
and they might not be able to get a hold of all of them.
Yeah,
Well, Greg Berlanti needs to introduce Green Lantern already because he's
Yes.
been teasing that for
They
5
they
years.
really do.
He actually wrote the script for the movie.
Oh,
really?
hmm Yeah,
Wow.
he wrote the script. Martin Campbell directed it, but I'm pretty sure he at least co-wrote the script. He knows Green Lantern. He knows that character. And I mean, there was an episode of Arrow or Flash where they were sitting in a bar in Coast City, and this guy turns around and he's wearing a flight jacket and it says H. Jordan on it.
Really?
Oh my God,
So I mean,
that's
they've been
awesome.
teasing it for a long time. There's Ferris Air,
Yeah.
like billboards in the background all the
Yeah.
time.
Oh
So
yeah, so they really put it out there.
I think that they need to introduce that character
They
before
should.
that universe gets stale because I'm with you. Like, I thought last year Arrow was pretty decent.
Yeah.
But The Flash wasn't as good as it had
No.
been. And
Well,
this
and
year, I don't think any of them are that great. Like, I almost watched them out of obligation.
Yeah, well, that's
Yeah.
what you end up doing by the end of
Because
the
I
show
want to
anyway.
keep up with all of the universes.
Yeah.
And that's the only reason, really,
Well,
why
and
I
they-
watch Legends of Tomorrow. Because there are
Man, I
They're
did
not
not
good.
like Legends of Tomorrow.
It's because there's so many plot holes.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
there's just too
I think that
much.
happens when you get to meet characters.
Well, and with the Flash, like, I hate Iris. You shouldn't hate her.
No.
Like, she's not a character that you should hate.
I think she's gotten better because they've given her more to do.
Well,
But I call it the Thea Queen effect.
yeah.
Because, I mean, they've just slowly been writing Thea out of
Yeah.
Arrow. They give her less and less and less to do.
Yeah.
And they tried to get rid of Laurel,
Yeah.
with Katie Cassidy, because
Yeah.
I think she wanted to go do movies.
I
and then
think
she
so,
found
too.
out that
Yeah.
that wasn't going to work.
Yeah, I think so, too.
And then they had to find a way to bring her back
Yep.
by doing this Black Siren thing, which it's not great.
No.
Well,
I mean, it's...
do you think they're doing the right thing by pushing these movies back so far and then spacing them out so much, like the DC universe as far as the movies go?
I think they just need to make a good movie.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
the three
they
of us
have.
think that they have been good movies.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We're not the ones that hate
you-
on them.
okay,
Well, see, and technically speaking, BVS is a masterpiece.
I think so.
Technically speaking.
Yeah.
But it's really hard to get your typical moviegoer to look at technical parts of
Right.
a movie.
Yeah.
They just go, "This didn't make me laugh. It sucks."
Right.
That's a lot of it.
That's
Well,
most
That's
of
why
it.
Thor did so well.
That's most of
and
it.
Thor's
Yeah.
not
and there-
supposed to
and
be
that's
funny.
why
Hulk's
Infinity
not supposed to be funny.
That's why Infinity War is going to do great, because they're already saying, like, there's been
the Guardians are in it. It's going to be hilarious.
there's been
in most places.
some groups have gotten to see early screenings of Infinity War, and they're already saying it's hilarious. You shouldn't come out of Infinity War saying it's hilarious.
No, people
It
die.
It is a end of world scenario. It is not supposed to be funny.
Yeah.
No.
But whatever. I'm just a comic book guy that likes movies.
I know.
Oh yeah, you're the bad guy.
I'm
here.
the bad guy.
I don't think BVS got enough credit for incorporating dialogue
No.
from The Dark Knight Returns.
No.
Right.
Which is one of the best-selling Batman comic books of all time.
Exactly.
I mean, Snyder actually brought in like word for word stuff
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
the fight
Yeah.
between Batman
that
and
was
Superman.
definitely a play on two different graphic novels, and and what he done was great, and no one appreciated it.
No.
And people joked. People joked about the Martha scene because it was so stupid. Like, okay, Bruce Wayne dresses up as a bat, and like it literally changed his life because his mom named Martha died.
Yeah.
You don't think that would have that much of an impact on him?
Oh yeah, well that's why he's
And then,
that's why
you
he
know,
wears a suit.
And then whenever I say that argument, then they go, well, why would Superman say Martha? Well, why would Superman say save my mom? Batman doesn't know who his mom is.
Right.
He would say save Martha, and he would say, who's Martha? And then you'd say, that's my mom.
It
Her
just
name,
happened.
her name,
It clicked, and it snapped him back at me. He
her-
realized, oh my god,
her name
human.
is Martha.
It wasn't until that movie that I realized that both of their moms were
Yeah.
named Martha.
Isn't that crazy?
That never dawned on me
No.
before.
No, they don't focus on Batman's parents the same way as they do Superman's parents.
Well, and they always called him Ma and Pa Kent.
Ma and
Yeah.
Pa Kent, and
Like, I don't.
well,
Right
and
now, I'm even
and I always
blanking on what his
remember
dad's name is.
I always remember Jonathan and Martha Kent.
Jonathan.
But when you hear Thomas and Martha Wayne, everyone just talks about Thomas Wayne,
Yeah.
not Martha or mom, and he calls them mom and dad or whatever.
Yeah.
So they're
Right.
not. I mean, they don't focus on them.
parents.
Anytime you see him, it's not Thomas. I don't know. Like maybe I guess there is, but you don't pay attention. You just don't pay attention the same way.
Yeah.
But they're not in his life, and they don't focus on him every page. Whereas in Superman stories, if
They focus on him quite a bit.
yeah, Martha's more involved because she's alive.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
That's my take on it. But I don't know. I think they're slowing down for a reason. But at the same time, I feel like I just hate the fact that they're spacing these movies out so much at this point now, because we should have had Flash already.
Yeah.
Flash and Aquaman should have been this year, but now we're just getting Aquaman.
But we are getting Flashpoint.
But and see, I think that's how they're going to end up erasing all this stuff.
Yeah.
I think they're going to change everything.
They'll use that to retcon everything.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys have both read Flashpoint, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So what was your favorite twist in the Flashpoint universe?
Batman.
Yeah, I was
I
going to
think
say
so,
mine
too.
is
Yeah.
like the notion that Bruce Wayne is the one that gets shot in the alley. His
Actually,
dad
I
becomes
think
Batman.
my favorite twist isn't Thomas being Batman. It is Martha being Joker.
Martha
Right,
being Joker.
right.
Because she's messed up.
That was really, really
That was
interesting.
really weird.
And then one day a year they stop fighting and come together.
You know what's really awesome was when you read the button
Yes.
and he met Thomas as Batman.
Oh, man.
That was awesome. And he tried to get him to come back with him.
Yeah.
I'm getting goosebumps.
I'm getting goosebumps.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just
that was
even
weird,
thinking about
dude.
it. 'Cause-
That was so
and
crazy.
he's talking about Wayne's We Rise as he's like, basically charging into oblivion.
Yeah, he didn't want this life for him or whatever.
No.
I don't know.
That was
I don't
one of-
belong here.
Man, in this, I love the new 52 Batman, but we've gotten some of the best single issues.
Oh, yeah, I
in
agree.
the Rebirth
I agree.
Batman, because we
Yes.
were talking about the Super Friends.
Well, that's
stuff.
kind of why I'm down with this. Let's call them one-shot movies. I'm down with one or two
Yeah.
of the same story, maybe not,
Yeah.
and just having.
I think it'll be too confusing to your typical.
Now that Marvel's established this ongoing story at this point, you almost expect that.
Well, and people now stay to the end of the credits for all movies now, expecting there to be an after credits
Yeah,
scene
every
because
movie.
Marvel has done that so many times.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone stays after
Well, and
Ghostbusters.
I can't even tell you how many people I know that will say, "Oh, Batman, that new Marvel movie, Batman. I want to see that. I want to see that new Marvel movie. Aquaman's coming out. Marvel's got so many movies coming out. It's Aquaman's coming out in December.
Well, I had somebody ask me the other day. He's like, "Well, when's Superman show up? And is he gonna show up in Infinity War?" I'm like, "No, that's not the same thing." Well, it's DC. Oh, that's not the same thing. No, it's not the
No.
same thing.
Pains me to hear that.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. Those are the people that are getting on Facebook and complaining to the point where they're changing this for us. We had a special thing going with Batman v Superman.
Yep.
And no one liked it. And then,
I think plenty of people liked it.
well,
I think more people liked it than hated
and
it.
then everyone got
Well, I don't know
shamed
about
into
Exactly.
into saying that you hate it.
Exactly.
Because you have to defend yourself if you say
more people
that you
like Justice
BS.
League. More people was okay with Justice League.
Oh, well, of course. It
but-
had funny parts.
But no one could get past. The biggest bugaboo about the people in Justice League was the mustache thing.
Oh, yeah.
I can't tell.
I can.
Oh, I
Oh,
can.
I
I can.
Oh, yeah.
But and here's the thing, they did that to themselves because that scene was not needed at all.
No.
They could have done
Absolutely
something
not.
completely
Which,
different.
which scene is it that they removed the mustache?
Well,
The very beginning.
there's a bunch of them, but
At
there's
the burning house.
Okay.
yeah, where they were standing outside and they were interviewing with the cell phone. That's
Okay.
what it was.
That was a reshoot from Whedon.
yes,
I did not know
and
that.
they didn't have to do
Whedon,
that.
I'm here to tell you right now. I know this might sound batshit crazy, but Whedon was a spy. I guarantee you, Whedon
I feel weird about
came
it.
in. He came in. He screwed that movie up, and then bounced.
He already lost Batgirl.
Yeah,
Like
he
they-
should have lost back.
Yeah, he should. After that,
But, and I think in today's political climate, you're not going to get a male director for a Batgirl movie.
oh
I
no,
bet
I
they
agree.
won't.
I agree.
They're
bet we
going to
won't.
find
No.
somebody different.
Well,
Which
and
is
see,
cool. Give it to Patty Jenkins.
Well,
I mean,
Patty Jenkins, that was a really
give
good
her everything.
Yeah,
I
Give her
I
everything.
agree. I agree. If you could, if she
Well,
could be
and see,
Batgirl, great.
Wonder Woman. It was a lot of that was Snyder. Like Snyder worked on Wonder Woman.
yeah,
yeah.
he did.
he
As an
did. He
executive
did a
producer.
lot of it.
He did.
I really
His
hope-
wife was too, though.
Yeah, I really hope one day we get the full Snyder cut of Justice League.
I don't think we
I don't
will.
think we will, but
I
man,
hope so though.
I bet they burn that. I bet they just burn it. Don't even hide it anywhere.
man, I hope
They
not.
don't want anything to do with Snyder. It's like he's dead.
Well, I
Definitely
think
cut
I think
ties.
they're going to cut ties with everything people want,
Oh, I think
and they're
so,
going to
too.
just do their
I
own
think so,
thing
too.
at this point.
Yeah.
They are doing exactly the opposite of what Marvel's doing in movies, but they're doing the exact same thing Marvel's doing in comic books.
Yeah.
Like they're just crisscross.
Yep.
DC knows what they're doing in comic books,
Yeah.
and Warner Brothers, and I think it's mostly Warner
I
Brothers
think
in that.
DC knows what they're doing in
Yeah.
movies.
Mhm.
I think Warner Brothers has full control of the movies.
Mhm. And I think that's a problem.
It is a problem.
But if we had Disney behind DC Comics, you would have money, but it'd be Marvel.
it'd be Marvel.
Well,
It'd
they
be the
need to
same.
get out of Jeff Johns' way and let Jeff Johns
Yeah,
exactly.
do the DC.
Exactly.
Like,
See,
why
we-
did you bring
we
him
made
on
a,
as a
we made a
movie?
video about that like a year ago,
Yeah.
or more. Like you need to step back and let Jeff Johns do whatever he wants to do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That dude turned everything around.
Well, Chris and I have talked about this several times, but he made an Aquaman story that I
was
cared
amazing.
about,
Yes.
and it was really, really good because he didn't shy away from the fact that Aquaman kind of gets ribbed on a lot, and he almost leaned into it in some places, and it worked. You developed like sympathy and investment in that character.
Well, I'll tell you what, after these new animated movies that they've started releasing, that Kings of Atlantis movie was incredible.
Oh yeah, it was.
That was good.
Like that makes Aquaman awesome.
Yeah. Well, he's super powerful.
Yeah.
He's super powerful. He's he controls 75% of the Earth. So I mean, that's
pretty powerful.
That's pretty powerful. But on top of that, he's powerful power-wise.
Yeah, he's a very strong individual on land.
Yeah.
And in the water.
He's the strongest in the water.
Yeah.
Did you guys like Jason Momoa as Aquaman?
I did.
I
thought it was all right.
It was.
I think The Flash stole the show.
I did too.
Kinda, yeah. I think
that part where he's running in flash time and Superman turns his head and looks that is my favorite part of that.
Me too.
It's mine too. Mine too.
I thought that.
And when he
awesome.
picked him up when he was holding him just by the cheeks with one hand and just asked him if he bled, I thought that was awesome. That was cool too. Just throws him.
See, but then that led up to a part that I hated. Because he threw him and he's like, "Yep, something's definitely bleeding."
Yeah. Oh, that's Whedon. That was.
It was one of his.
You definitely.
It was one of his reshoots.
Man,
I'm telling you, everything that I don't like in Justice League, because I think Justice League is a pretty good movie.
Mm-hmm.
I really did like it a lot. But I didn't like it as good as I like BVS.
Yeah.
But everything that I don't like is confirmed reshoots from Whedon.
Was the Aquaman sitting on the lasso, was that a Whedon thing?
I don't know.
It felt like it.
I don't know.
It felt like a Whedon.
See, now
that was actually okay with me.
I don't remember. Let's see. I know
that made sense.
The very beginning was a reshoot from him. The part with Batman where he says something's definitely bleeding, that was a reshoot. When they were in the field, that was a reshoot.
Because he had a CGI face.
Whenever Martha Kent was in the newspaper office and she says she's the thirstiest young woman, that was a Whedon reshoot. Whenever the Flash fell on Wonder Woman on her chest, and then all of a sudden he jumped back up real quick and looked, because he landed on her chest, that was a Whedon reshoot. Mm-hmm. Everything that had anything to do with like an awkward sexual thing, he had something to do with it. Anything that was funny, he did it.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, dude, he came in straight up just to ruin this movie.
It makes you wonder. It does. Because Zack, or he didn't leave on his own, did he?
Snyder? No,
that's controversial.
He left because his daughter killed herself.
Okay, see, that's
what the press release was.
Okay, see, that's what I wonder. Because I knew it was a family thing.
But some people have speculated that they use that as a graceful way for him to exit. I mean, I say graceful. I mean, it's an awful thing.
Yeah.
But instead of saying we're firing him because the movie is
we're going to
terrible,
let him go.
They're going to let him go on his terms.
Yeah.
But
that's so shitty.
I don't think we'll see a studio feature-length movie from Zack Snyder in the next 7 years. I think he's going to go to movie jail for 7 years.
Probably not.
I wouldn't doubt it.
That's generally the rule.
And he's very middle of the road politically. Like, he doesn't talk about politics and stuff, so that hurts him.
Yeah.
If you're not uber one side.
And Joss Whedon is a SJW.
Oh yeah,
100%.
Oh, straight up.
He really
is straight. Which is funny because I think he over sexualizes anything to do with women.
Yeah.
But he's uber. He's he's super SJW. But I think he's super.
He's still catching a lot of flack for the Black Widow portrayal in Avengers: Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
Because her main role in that movie was the Hulk's love interest.
Yeah.
They didn't give her anything else to do.
Well, she kind of was a honeypot assassin. So, anytime you have a female character that and I'm just talking comic books here. Anytime you have a female character, her job is to have sex with people, then murder them. It's kind of hard to make her a strong, powerful woman in the movies. You know what I'm saying?
That's a good point.
That's a tightrope that's too hard to walk.
Exactly. So. You have to either go all in or leave her out.
Yeah.
And they wanted to have her in. You can't put your feet, you can't dip your toes in, a femme fatale.
Well, that's true.
I guess you can, because they had done it several times, I guess. Well, I don't know. Iron Man, she was pretty she was pretty femme fatale.
Yeah, I was gonna say she was like kind of like that when she was introduced.
I don't know.
Anyway,
It is what it is.
It is.
While we're on DC, what DC character that hasn't been in the movies yet do you want to see?
Booster Gold.
Say Booster.
Booster Gold. I mean, there's a lot. There's so much. After Dark Knight's Metal #6, Plastic Man, faux show.
Plastic Man.
Man, that was awesome.
Out of the ones who are not as obscure, I would say, I'd have to say Swamp Thing. I think that'd be pretty cool.
Oh
That's
my
a good one.
god!
Swamp
That's a good
Thing.
one.
would be awesome.
That's my second favorite comic book character of all time.
I would like them to try a Riddler again.
They could do
Yeah.
They could do anything with Swamp Thing. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Now you're gonna get me just talking about Swamp Thing.
No, don't do that.
I kind of want Mr. Miracle,
Mr. Miracle,
That'd be
which we
awesome.
might get with the
Yes.
New Gods movie.
Yes,
yeah, that's
we
true.
might.
So
Yes.
I like Booster Gold a lot.
I like Booster.
I think
Gold.
that there's some, and as far as Batman goes for the future, I think we definitely need to focus on somebody who hasn't been in a movie very much.
Mhm.
Ooh. You mean Hush?
Like Hush. Well, yeah, exactly. Hush would be perfect.
I think Hush would be perfect.
Actually,
Yeah, 'cause
another
you
one.
could do Hush in a
Yeah,
feature length movie.
Yeah, wouldn't have to do a whole
Actually-
lot of CG
actually,
either.
What I would
Yeah,
love to
CGI.
see, and I mean, they don't do a lot of CGI probably, but what I'd love to see is a Clayface, and I
That-
mean,
that would be
a,
awesome.
and I would like a actual, like Origins or something, actually, because you can see, or even another Mr. Freeze that's not Schwarzenegger, right? That because there's
It's actually serious.
well, there's a very, very
He
horrible.
should be.
There's a very humanized, horrible thing about them guys.
Do
Yeah.
Sub-Zero.
Yes.
So exactly, do
Yes.
Sub-Zero. There's a really good story behind these characters that makes you sympathize with these characters.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And Clayface was kind of one of those too, a little bit.
A little bit.
He's kind of more arrogant, but Mr.
Yeah.
Freeze was very, very.
Oh, he kind of deserved what he got.
Who?
Clayface.
Yeah, Basil Carlo.
Yeah.
I'm okay with any of
He
the Clayface,
kind-
but Basil
You
Carlo.
know
would
what
probably
I'm, you know
be
what
the
I'm
way to
saying?
go.
Like
Yeah.
he kind of deserved.
Well, he
yeah.
was kind of arrogant.
The other one
about,
did.
He
The other
was
one
really
didn't deserve
focused
it.
on the. He had to act. He
I'm with you. I want to see a good Riddler movie.
Yeah.
I think a
Now
good
when you
Riddler
do
movie.
Zero Year,
Yeah.
Zero Year would be
Yeah, that
awesome.
would
that'd
be
be
awesome.
awesome.
Anything would be like that. But I think that's what they need to go.
Boy.
Who would you cast as
Something
the Riddler?
tragic. See, that's hard because I don't know anybody right now off the top of my head that I can think of that would be good and not insane. I don't know. Have you
about-
got one of mine?
I was thinking DiCaprio
Ooh, DiCaprio.
Yeah, he could.
because the 0 Year Riddler is not super goofy,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
he's got enough of an edge that he could pull it
Well,
off.
what I would like to see animated series style because he's not goofy at all.
hmm
He's not too dark, but he's dark.
Yeah, I like.
But it really plays on his intelligence.
Yep.
And like I know this was a big thing in the '90s, so you probably have to do something a little different than VR's kind of back.
Mhm.
But that episode in Batman animated series with the VR game
Mhm.
was awesome.
Yeah.
That virtual reality game where they had to go in and beat his puzzles and his riddles. That was awesome. And that would be just imagine that in live action form would be incredible. Like they're dodging all these death traps that you die, you're dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they've shown that you can do VR successfully with the Ready Player One movie.
Yes,
Oh,
and
yeah.
that was incredible too.
Yeah.
I think that'd be awesome. But I think there needs to be a tragic approach to whatever they do, and I wouldn't do more than 2 villains. I would try to focus on
Yeah.
one if you can.
I agree. I think that's a common flaw of Batman films.
Oh,
is they
yeah.
try to introduce too many villains at once.
Now, obviously, they're probably gonna. We haven't talked about Deathstroke, who was actually appeared in Justice League at the end. I think that's probably
If they don't have Joe Manganiello, how do you say his
Manganiello.
name? If they don't have him play Deathstroke, I don't want to see it.
I know you can't just change it all of a sudden.
He looks so much like him that
Yeah.
you have to use him.
Well, and what's crazy is he's not that old.
No,
Like
No,
they grayed his hair.
yeah, he could do it forever.
and he pulled it off.
Yeah.
And what's funny, Brittany and I went back and rewatched How I Met Your Mother,
Mhm.
like either last year or 2 years ago, and he was in that show.
Really?
And watching him like in that role and being like, yeah, that guy's gonna be Deathstroke. It's crazy, like
Oh, yeah.
how many faces he can wear.
Oh yeah,
Really?
he's really good.
He has a lot of depth as
Really?
an actor. So
I think that's what they're going to go with. I think they're going to go with Deathstroke, and that's okay if they included him as well. I mean, there's certain things that they can do with multiple enemies, and it works really well. But they would have to pull off this Arkham style
yeah.
movie, Arkham game style
Yeah,
movie.
I don't think they could do it in 2 hours.
No, I don't think they can do it 2 hours, and I don't think they could do it with the budget, even
No.
with any kind of budget if they wanted.
No.
They don't want to make it $1 billion.
Yeah.
So do you just go with a completely original Deathstroke story,
I
or do you
think
try
so.
to do Judas Contract?
I don't know.
Because I don't know if you can do Judas Contract without the
Without
full
the- yeah. I
full
don't think-
cast.
I don't think so.
Yeah, you're probably right. I would just do Deathstroke, and if you don't, then assume he's already there. Obviously, he exists, right?
Yeah.
And introduce him in the next Justice League, because that Legion of Doom thing sounds really
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
incredible, and I think they need to probably hurry along. I don't know if they're
Well,
going to do that now,
And they might want to wait because Scott Snyder is actually writing, he's writing the Legion of Doom back into
I know.
Justice League.
So I'm saying,
with a Hall of Justice
Yeah.
too.
or if they can get a Batman movie out with maybe Deathstroke as an appearance, and then maybe another villain that's more involved, like tragic. I think we can get Freeze or somebody in. I think that would work best, and then Deathstroke could be more of a main villain in the new Justice League.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because they could focus on the Legion of Doom in that movie before bringing Darkseid in. Because I don't want to bring Darkseid in so quick. I don't think it's a good idea.
Yeah.
Well,
I think
and
we need
see,
to wait. I don't want to wait
Zack,
10 years.
Zack
but-
Snyder had they had filmed some Darkseid stuff.
Yeah.
Like he was going to introduce Darkseid.
Darkseid was in the original cut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was listening to a podcast where they interviewed these people that had seen a
The
screener
original.
of the original,
Really?
and they said Deathstroke was in the original Justice League. There was a scene where he was watching over a battle or a war or something. He was on high, kind of looking over it.
Okay.
And they,
That'd be
they cut
incredible.
that out.
Stupid.
Yeah.
Stupid.
I'm telling you, dude. Warner Brothers and Whedon are to blame for Justice League's
I
failure.
agree.
And it wasn't that big of a failure. I mean, it's not. That's a.
I think by everybody
it's
else's
so kind of.
standards,
It's
it
so
was.
kind of. It's weird because whenever you look at the numbers, Justice League has done just as good as most of Marvel's first movies.
Mhm.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, if you're already going to build a CGI character, I don't understand why, if you're not going to do Darkseid later, why do Steppenwolf? And if you're already doing a CGI character, you could almost put all of Steppenwolf's dialogue in as Darkseid and it
Yeah.
still works.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
I don't know. I did like Steppenwolf though. The only thing that I think is bad about Steppenwolf is that non-comic book readers have no clue who he
Yep.
is.
Yeah.
Well, that was my wife going into the movie. She's like,
Yeah.
who is
Yeah,
this guy?
Yeah.
But, she still liked it.
Right.
Because it was a good movie.
Well,
and
I think
see-
you just need to throw people in there. I don't know if we don't have enough time and money and to be just throwing in these characters, because you have to do something different. And if we sit here and try to build up everybody, it's going to take way too
Yep.
long.
Yeah.
And then you're going to have, and it's going to be way too experimental. So if it fails in this time around, you just spent you have $300 million on a movie that, now we got to wait 3 more years for the next one to try again.
do one movie really, really well
Mm-hmm.
and build around that. And they did that with Wonder Woman. If Wonder Woman had
Right.
been the first movie in a DC universe, they'd be sitting pretty like
Yep.
Marvel was after the first Iron Man.
I just don't think people want to like DC
Well-
right now in movies.
well,
I just
and,
don't.
okay.
I think we got a lot working against us in just and not fandom, but just people being ignorant. They're just being that way. They're being stubborn.
I think I may have said this before on one of our shows. I don't know if it's on a podcast or not, but anyone who can stand there and tell me that DC can't make a good movie and then say that Thor 1 and 2 were both good,
Oh,
they need to shut the hell up.
that's the thing about
because
Marvel.
Thor 1, Thor 2, Iron Man 3,
Avengers 2.
all of the Hulks.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, yeah, even Avengers 2 wasn't. It was still pretty cool.
Mhm.
It was cool, but it wasn't near what Avengers
I'm a
was.
big Vision guy, so I was
Yeah.
excited
Oh,
to see
yeah.
Vision
Right,
show
well,
up.
Yeah,
sure,
I can
but-
see that. But I mean, there's 5 big movies right there that
Yeah.
I think are pretty lackluster.
And it's hypocritical of people because they're so angry. They're so angry about Steppenwolf. They're just looking for things to be mad about.
Yeah.
And that's how I can't take them serious or care about what they think, because they complained about Steppenwolf being all CGI. And look at Thanos.
yeah,
Look at Ultron. Look at everybody.
Yeah.
They've everything they've done is just been exactly like
Yeah.
Marvel, but it's not Marvel.
oh, dude. Okay, so
It's a cool thing to do,
and,
man.
and I know this is going to be unpopular, but the Black Panther fight at the end where him and Killmonger are on the train tracks.
The Underground Railroad.
Yeah. PlayStation 2 graphics, man.
Mhm.
PlayStation 2 graphics. And everybody, oh, Black Panther's amazing. It was. It was really good. It was a really, really good movie.
Yeah.
But it is not infallible at all. Like,
Yeah.
it had moments where it was not that great.
We are just about out of time, but I got one more question for you guys, and then we'll do final statements. But do you think they should include the Bat family in the next Batman film, or should we just get separate ones like Batgirl and all that? Should they still go through as separate movies?
I think they should introduce them.
Separate movies?
No, I mean introduce them
in the film.
Yeah.
I think so too.
Just act like they've always been there.
Yeah, I think so too. And they just been out doing their own thing,
Yep.
and because of Bruce's attitude,
We got an older Batman.
yeah,
Just let it go.
Yeah.
Nobody needs to know anymore. Everybody, if they don't read comic books, they at least have watched the cartoon.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Jim Gordon did say in Justice League, it's good to see you working with others again.
Yeah.
And that's, or maybe I'm paraphrasing. I can't
No,
remember.
I think that's what he
it's
said,
pretty
yeah.
close. But he, you can assume that they're there. Obviously, there was an old Robin. You can assume that there's a Nightwing or a Batgirl or somebody there. So you can just say, well, they've not been involved in any of this stuff.
Yeah.
And he's been a loner this whole time, and he's got himself a new group, and then maybe this will cause him to reconnect with the old group again.
You can say that they were away too. You could say Nightwing was in Bloodhaven,
Right?
And Batgirl was in Chicago,
Right.
and Red Hood was wherever. You know,
exactly. And I think they should introduce them, and I think Red Hood would be awesome to be in.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, I think so,
I
too.
think to do a successful Bat family, you need Red Hood,
Yeah.
and then because his backstory is inherently cinematic, you know,
Right,
like it's
exactly.
just.
Yeah.
It'd be
Well,
pretty
I think it would be nice to actually do a.
He'd have to be the rated R.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, any final statements for you?
I don't think so.
No.
I
Okay.
don't think so. Michael Keaton's the best Batman.
Before I die, I want to see a Court of Owls movie.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
my final
Yeah,
statement.
yeah.
I hope they at least do.
I want to hush.
I hope they at least do an animated
Yeah.
Court of Owls movie.
Yeah, like you guys, I think, gotten into comics much earlier than I did. I didn't start reading comics until 2013,
Yeah.
but The Court of Owls was the first book that got dropped into my
what a
hands.
hell of a book.
And I've been hooked ever since.
Yeah, hell of a book.
Yeah.
It's a hell of, and it's been. We've had such great things, and my gosh, the next month or two has been going to be awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's going to be overwhelming.
So, man, JK, we really appreciate you coming on.
Yeah,
we had a lot
appreciate
of
you guys
fun.
letting me have me.
Always a good. We're probably going to start something. We need to start a comic book podcast or something and get it
I
back on
want
here.
to.
I do
want
too.
to
Maybe
pretty
call
bad.
in or something. Have you
Yeah.
on here more often.
Sounds
If you
awesome.
can't come down, we can at least call you.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
I'm down.
Well, I guess we'll close it down for the day. We got a Patreon now, so Foppish Dandies /Patreon or Patreon.com /Foppish Dandies, if I can say it right.
Yeah, give us free money.
Give us free. You can support us on there if you like what you hear.
Please.
We're also on YouTube. We'll put them up on YouTube a week after the fact. If you want to do that, if you want to be cheapies.
Yeah.
And we also release this on iTunes. We're going to have JK on more often. And we'll have Andrew back next week.
Maybe.
If JK hasn't taken his job. And
Please don't find me, Andrew.
please, Andrew. All right, guys, we're out of here. We'll see you all next time.
Peace.
See ya.